Oh, hey, what's going on? How are you? Yeah, not bad. How are you? Uh, I'm all right. I'm actually just in the process of wiping down the leaves of my plant. But I thought now would be a good time to catch up. So I thought I'd show you what I'm doing whilst I'm explaining what's been going on. How's my week been? My week's been all right. Work was pretty boring. I went to the office and that was... Actually, the office was all right this time. Normally, as you know, I hate going to the office. But this time it was not too bad. I had some nice chats with some people I haven't seen in a while. And I think actually one of the best parts of going to the office is having lunch and then going for a walk with people and having that be a way of socializing. I don't know what it is about like walking and talking that just is quite enjoyable for me. So that was nice because when I'm at home, I don't typically do that. I kind of just leave my desk, go downstairs, eat something, and then come back to my desk. So it was nice to actually be able to do that. What else? Went to a concert on Thursday, that was really nice, it was very fun. I went to see Jasmine and Jethwa at Lafayette, which is the second time I've seen her, but the first time I've been to that venue. Don't love the venue, I'm not gonna lie. It's very interestingly shaped. It's shaped kind of like, imagine this as a bird's eye view. It's almost, the door is here, and you walk in and the stage is here, but the majority of the space is like this. So when it's full, I walked in, stopped right here in the doorway, and I just couldn't go anywhere, and I could hardly see the stage. So I was just kind of like, what do I actually do in the situation? So I went up to the balcony. The balcony is kind of the same structure, except it's tiered seating, standing. So there's like 4 levels, but each level has like 2 rows of people. My point is, I could see her just about, but I had to keep my head really perfectly aligned between 2 people's heads. And whenever they moved or like put their phone out to take a picture, I had to shift to a different gap. It was quite annoying. But the acoustics were okay. But it was quite annoying being upstairs because people just kept walking back and forth. And I had to keep moving out of their way, which is just disruptive. But the show itself was nice. Like I said, it's the second time I've seen Jasmine. The first time was last year at the St. Pancras Old Church, I think it's called. That was I loved that venue, and it really suited her style, her voice. She has a very delicate voice, and I think the acoustics really carried, and the setting really suited the sound of her voice and the sound of her songs. So yeah, but I'm really happy to see her in a bigger venue. She seemed really pleased to be performing to a bigger crowd. When she first came out, she was like, wow, I can't believe there's so many people, like, this is crazy. And she was saying, like, I just want to take this all in. But it's very endearing seeing her, because it feels, I think she said she released her first song during 2020. Yeah. So it's quite endearing seeing her go from that to a sold out show and doing a UK tour. And she just seems kind of happy to be doing what she enjoys doing. And I find that very, very endearing is probably the right word, yeah. If you're curious, I'd recommend, if you've not heard her music, what songs I recommend? There's a song that goes... If I remember the name of that song, I will text you, but I can't remember this on the spot right now. My personal favourite songs are probably Empty Waters. I like Running Circles. What's my other? There's another song that I play a lot, and it's escaping me in this moment. Anyway, Running Circles, turn off the TV. Golden was is a really nice song. And yeah, I really just genuinely enjoy her presence. She's very, I keep using the word endearing, but it's just accurate. A very endearing character to see on the stage, like bringing those songs to life. So I would definitely recommend. What else have I been up to this week? What have I been doing? It's not something I've done yet, but it's still the same week, so I'm allowed to say that, right? Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to be cooking a lasagna on tomorrow. Today's Saturday. Oh, I need to tell you about tonight, but we'll come back to that. On Sunday, tomorrow, I'm making a lasagna, and I haven't made one in a long time, probably since maybe even this time last year. And okay, don't tell anyone, but I've hyped this up maybe too much, because I was talking to someone and I was like, oh yeah, like basically I've perfected my lasagna recipe, and then after being asked to now make it, I was like, and then I went home and I was like, do I still know how to do that? So I need to like read the recipe again, and I'm making a trial one on Sunday, which is so like, stand up! Like, I can't believe I'm actually, I can't believe I'm making a trial lasagna, a trial meal even, to impress someone, but oh well. But as a result, you can't just make a whole lasagna for one person, that's a bit, I mean you can, do you? But I typically cook for like 4 or 5 people at a time. So I invited my neighbor over to come and help me eat the lasagna after I've made it. So that'll be fun on Sunday, and a nice way to just chill and socialize. I've become much more social in the last 2 months. I'm trying to ride the wave. I hope that's not super noisy because there's a plane flying. But I'm trying to ride the wave of feeling more social, because it's definitely a wave that will end. I'm a sociable person, as in I enjoy socializing and I enjoy other people's company, but I'm very much an introvert, and my default state is to be by myself and then involve other people in what I'm doing as and when I need it and as and when I want it. And very much like once I'm done, it's like, so where will you be going to your own house? Because you know what I mean? But lately, I've been like, why am I not out in these streets right this very second? Like, why am I even in my house? So I'm trying to ride the wave whilst it is still here, because it will come to an end, and I think it's going to come to an end shortly, because the weather's changing, and when it's dark, I'm just like, So yeah, I'm trying to ride the wave whilst I have it, and hence this weekend. So as we are speaking right now, it's like just past 12, I think. Is that what time it is? Yeah. And I have committed to 3 different motives to this evening. Sorry, this night, because the first one doesn't start till 10. It's like being like at uni. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to a birthday party, and then I'm going to a house party, and then I'm going to the club in one night in 3 different corners of this city. And it started off with the house party, and then the birthday party got added in, and then now I'm being dragged to the club. I expect it'll be fun, so I'm not, complaining, but it is very much like, to what extent should I just follow my weirdly sociable current state, and to what point do I just stop and respect myself? Because anyone with, I won't say anyone with a brain, but anyone with common sense who has done multiple motives in the same night in this city knows how stressful that can be, because just even getting from one to the other in itself can take you the best part of an hour. So what possessed me to say yes to all these things? But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it and it'll be fine. I'll text you how it goes. In fact, I will see you. I will see you at one of the motives, yeah? I don't know which one yet, but we'll see each other. Just make sure, you know, give me a sign, be like, blink twice if you need an out. But my plan is I'm going to do some tidying, go to the shops, do some cooking, and I want to be in bed by 6, 7, sleep, not even just nap, sleep good, wake up around 9, eat, and then go out. Because I think that's how I can trick my body into thinking that I can do this. Yeah, I think, oh no, there's 2 more leaves. Can you see those? Let me adjust you so you can see what's going on. Wow, perfect timing with the light coming through. So the last 2 leaves are this one and this one, which I don't know if you can really tell how dusty they are, but I'll send you some pictures so you can see what we're working with. I think that's probably better. In other news, yeah, now because it's getting colder, I need to think about my clothes, and I currently don't really, I'm so not used to dressing for winter. Not that I've been dressing for like summer because it's still London, but I now need to like get used to the fact that I'm going to actually have to cover my legs and wear socks in the house, that is. My motto, not my motto, but my attitude pretty much is like skin out when you can, because we only have a short window in which you can actually wear most of the summer stuff. So use it, abuse it, make use of it before we have to layer up. And unfortunately, I got so used to it that now I'm like, what is this? Why do I have to wear clothes? Even if I'm wearing a jumper right now, it feels strange. But it's very much at that point where I can't pretend to myself like I'm not cold when I'm not adequately bundled. I was walking to boxing the other day and I was doing my wraps as I go, as I normally do, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this? Why are my fingers cold? That's not allowed. That's not allowed." And unfortunately, I think we're just at that point of the year now. We hate to see it, but we have to see it, unfortunately. Oh yeah, you asked me what I was watching TV, I think. So I watched a bunch of true crime the last week, which was kind of mid, to be honest with you. I finished off How to Become a Cult Leader, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the narration from Peter Dinklage, and I thought that the concept was quite interesting. The sort of semi-mockumentary / self-help guide style was very unique. So I enjoyed that. And I watched some other ones which were just kind of mid. But I just finished watching My Dad is a Bounty Hunter, or My Dad the Bounty Hunter, I don't recall. But I finished watching that this morning, actually. And that was cute. I liked the animation style, I liked the overarching story. Didn't like the second season as much as I liked the first season. Mainly because it felt like they just did a big old Black Panther copycat. Now, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, because maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe in fact it is literally based off Black Panther. Like, it's like a offshoot or a fanfic or something. But if it's not, then it is a copycat, because they were literally generically black characters who were from a secretive nation who drew their mystical power from a specific brightly colored substance that can be mined heavily from their land, and they at this point are not sharing that resource with the rest of the world, and there's a discussion about whether or not they should, and blah, 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 blah. And there was like, you know, there's royalty, and there's like interaction with the outside world, and da, da, da. So I was just kind of not, once I clocked that was what's happening, I wasn't really here for it. But mostly because of the copycat nature, not because I didn't like the actual storyline. I'm trying to think if I should go bottom up or down top. That's not English. If I should go top down or bottom up with this one. I think I'm gonna go top down. Let me move this up a little bit. Turn off the TV. I don't wanna be no. I'm quite shocked that this thing is still standing up, because as you can see, it's growing that way. And yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Yeah, honestly, that's what I've been watching on TV. I started this season 4 of Sex Education yesterday. I watched the first episode. There's lots going on there, but it's too early for me to comment, so I'm not going to say nothing right now. But music, my goodness. Ooh, the lighting's quite nice over there. Let me see if I can catch the light for a second. Ooh, lovely. Let me move you so you can just see how the light is hitting. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, music. There was so much music that came out on Friday. Like, what was going on? The industry just conspired to drop everything at once. So, in fact, let's not even just focus on last week. I'm just going to remove this. I believe this is called a cataphil, which I could be wrong, but this is like the outer, that's the, you can't see it at the moment, but this like pink sheath that wraps up a leaf on a ficus elastica before it comes out. That's what that is. Once it's burst out, it just withers and dies. Should I stand up? Yeah. Can you see that? Kind of. Right. Anyway. Music. So yeah, there was a lot of music that caught my attention. So actually, let's even back up in just a quick second. So I went out last weekend, went to a festival, and my Shazam was working overtime. I Shazam so much, and so my playlist has just been jumping since then. But then on top of that, there was just a lot of new music that's come out in the last 2 weeks, and so I have been under pressure to try and actually like get through it. But the people I keep coming back to, Victoria Monét's album Jaguar 2 and Amalou's album I Came Home Late. Let's talk about Victoria Monet quickly first. That woman, she delivered. I've said this before, I don't think to you, but I've said it before. I'm such a fan of her music, her all-rounder approach to being a pop star, a pop artist. Well, pop R&B, but just generally being an artist in terms of her writing, her vocals, her dancing, her kind of style, presentation, everything. But, however, her actual projects themselves, her complete solo efforts as albums, you cannot see anything right now. Bear with. Is that better? Sure. Her solo albums have not... Now you can't see anything. Whoa. Okay. Let's just go back to this. Her solo albums have never, for me, been completely good. Her last album, Jaguar, has good songs. And she's had some nice singles, and she has her older albums also have some nice songs, but generally I'm always like, I like less than 50% of this. But this Jaguar 2 was for me. It's hitting. It's hitting for real. My favorite song is probably, I'm not even sure. I love On My Mama, obviously. That's the lead single, I think. I learned the choreo. I felt inspired, okay? No, I will not perform it for you right now. But if you ask nicely, maybe at a later date. Let me move you back. I would say I quite enjoy Goodbye, which is the final song. It's going to be so good, like it's going to just fit so well at a concert. Well, I say at the concert because I've got tickets for when she comes to London. Yes, I do. It's going to fit really well, and I like if she doesn't end the concert on that song, it wouldn't make any sense. Do you know what I mean? So I'm ready for that moment. I also, of course, I love Alright because that's Kate Ronaldo and that's my guy. But honestly, just the whole album's slapping. I'm into it. Wow, look how dusty that was. Now, Amalou caught me off guard, right? So, Amalou is someone who I've been following for a couple of years now. Just like everybody else, I heard DDD or watched the 3-part short film thingy, and I was intrigued. But I wasn't, my life was not changed. But where I really sat up was when the project I'm Who came out. That's when I said, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Because the quality of that project was so high and there was so many, I don't know, she's such a good example of someone who, I might be biased, but I think, at least from my knowledge, I might be limiting my knowledge, in the UK, we have so many artists who, one sec, there is, are we good? No, we're not. Let me read. This is quite hard to angle. Give me a second. I should do it like that and be done with it. Okay. In the UK, we have some artists who are just so good at meshing and combining all the different reference points and the different influences to make a new sound, which I recently described, well, maybe it's not a UK thing, or maybe it's just a London thing, but I described it to someone as like a London sound, and that's very difficult to explain because a London sound is quite genreless. It doesn't necessarily, I can't necessarily say, oh, this person has a London sound and that person doesn't. It's more you know when you hear it. And she's a good example of someone who clearly has so many reference points that go just beyond, I know, like musicians who are from London, but her combination of all the things just feels very London, and you can hear the different influences in her work, which I enjoy a lot. I know I was talking, so let me talk about I'm Who. My favorite song on that album is definitely Better. And my second favorite song is Northside. And I love that Northside has a really special place in my life. I don't know if that sounds dramatic, but because you definitely can't see anything, but it's okay. That's the song that made me realize she wasn't American. And I think I remember in the comment section of her video, a lot of people were also like, is she British? Because there's a line where she was like, you used to pack bags in Sainsbury's, and I was like, Sainsbury's? Sainsbury's? Don't you mean 7-Eleven? Don't mean Treasures? No? Okay. So you're from, okay, cool. Because prior to then, I didn't think I'd ever heard her speak. And she has a sort of, maybe an American kind of style, or had an American style to her at the time. So it was just a fun surprise to find out that she was from the UK. Anyway, back to the genre thing. Her next EP that came out was called At Least We Have This, and I, to this day, reference that as such a good example of someone who has multiple different influences and can reconcile those in a project. Maybe not a song, but in a project. Because on that album or EP, 4-track EP alone, she has a song with a garage beat, a song with a drill beat, and I think a song with a, was it a hip hop beat as well? Or is it R&B? I don't remember. But even just the garage and the drawer, I'm like, the versatility to be able to do that, not everyone can do it. And it slaps, that EP slaps, all of the songs slap. I don't know what to tell you. So imagine my surprise when last week, 2 weeks ago, she dropped her debut album. I didn't realize it was coming. I'm not particularly up to date on what artists are doing because I'm not on social media. And so yes, receiving a full-length album from Amalu was a lovely surprise, and the album is so good. It's good, you need to get into it. My favourite songs, no one asked, but no, actually, yes, I will tell you my favourite songs because you did ask, thank you for asking. My favourite songs are the title track, which is the final track, which is I Came Home Late. I really like Frustrated. Excuse me, my phone died. It's now the next day and everything is done, but I'm here to show you what I did. So, in fact, I might have to take you down for a second to show you. This is the state of the leaves now, nice and shiny and dust free. There you go. And here it is on the ficus, looking nice and clean. So yeah, I hope you are well. It was good to catch up with you. Please let me know which plant you last wiped down, or rather, maybe for some of you, I'm not naming names, when was the last time you wiped down the leaves of your plants? Let me know.